The Securities and Exchange Commission denies a Freedom of Information Act request regarding Tether documents. On September 24, Jacob Silverman, a staff writer for the New Republic, tweeted about a FOIA request he submitted that was ultimately denied. Silverman claimed on the social networking site that he received responses to his Freedom of Information Act (FOIA) requests from the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC), but they were withheld due to the possibility of a law enforcement investigation. Jacob Silverman requested access to all Tether-related documents, emails, memos, and reports. There are a plethora of stablecoins available these days, and the total value of all stablecoins in existence is currently $129.7 billion. Tether, USDT, the first stablecoin and the largest in terms of market capitalization, controls $69.7 billion of the total market capitalization of all stablecoins. This Friday, Jacob Silverman, a staff writer at the New Republic, tweeted that he had filed a Freedom of Information Act request regarding Tether and Tether Operations Limited. In essence, a Freedom of Information Act (FOIA) request enables Americans to obtain access to all documents maintained by federal agencies. The public, on the other hand, cannot obtain access to records, or sections of records, if a law enforcement investigation is ongoing or if the records are protected from disclosure. Today, a federal agency may invoke approximately 3 types of exclusions and 9 exemptions in response to a record inquiry. The inquirer can specify the format and type of records in the inquiry. Silverman sought access to any documents, emails, notes, and reports pertaining to Tether Operations Limited. I received responses from the Securities and Exchange Commission to FOIA requests I issued for information on Tether and Tether Operations Limited, Silverman stated. Withheld pending the outcome of an inquiry by law enforcement, he added. According to the SEC's statement, the agency is relying on an exemption. We are withholding records that may be responsive to your request. The SEC response continues. This exemption safeguards against disclosure records compiled for law enforcement reasons, the publication of which could reasonably be expected to impair enforcement actions. We have not assessed whether any other exclusions apply since Exemption 7A protects the documents from disclosure. As a result, we retain the right to seek further exemptions in the event that Exemption 7A is no longer applicable. Additionally, the SEC response states, the Commission's overall policy is to conduct its investigations in a non-public manner. Thus, pursuant to the restrictions of the Freedom of Material Act, the Commission does not divulge the existence or non-existence of an investigation or obtained information unless it becomes a part of public record in proceedings before the Commission or in the courts. The response is distinct from the one Bennett Tomlin received in February regarding Tether. Silverman's response does not imply that law enforcement or the federal government intends to prosecute the corporation for any illegal action. Bennett Tomlin, an analyst, also filed a FOIA request with the SEC in February about Tether papers, and the regulator responded that after conducting a comprehensive review of all SEC systems, the regulator could not locate or identify any information responsive to your request. Tomlin responded to Silverman's recent FOIA request and response by tweeting, "Hey, Jacob Silverman, you got a different response than I did a couple of months ago." Which indicates that the SEC initiated this between February and now, Tomlin explained. I don't believe Jay Clayton considered them securities, but Gary Gensler appears to, the expert concluded. We hope you enjoyed watching and listening to this video. Please let us know your opinion in the comments area below. If you found our content useful, please like it and share it with your friends. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell for more crypto-related contents.